All right, Kenman here, and today's light and fluffy unboxing should be an exciting one. I found that I fell down a rabbit hole not too long ago on something, and it has brought us to this knife right here. What will it be? How is it gonna go? What rabbit hole am I talking about? Let's open it up and find out. And why would I do that when we could cut it maybe poorly? Ooh, my pyrite looks like it needs a sharpening, doesn't it? Oh man, that is embarrassing. All right, I paid retail price for this. I do these videos because I love discussing knives and sharing info and ideas with others. If you have any questions or thoughts for me, please comment down below. What is the nonsense I am speaking of? Wow, okay, bag on the floor. And we are on to bag number 2. Let's try this again. Okay, slip that in there, and see, now that made more sense. Okay, here we are. Boom. What kind of a weird ship was this? Well, this is a used knife, bag number 2 on the floor. Used knife? Kenman, what are you doing unboxings? Used knives? What is going on? What is it? Well, it's a buck. What was the rabbit hole I fell down? I fell down this buck knife rabbit hole before I even go and hijack my video with other knives. Buck knives, I will make a link, or I'll even put the little display right there. They have a thing where the knives that they make, if they continue to make that same model, they put a little stamp on the blade. Let's go ahead and take this out. And there is that stamp right there, Buck 373E. So we have the Buck Trio 373, and it kind of has like, it looks like an E, but it's not really an E. It's like a sideways squared off C with a dot in the middle of it. Long story short, that means this was made in 2015. What is cool is they give you those stamps, and it tells you what year that model was, or that particular knife was made. So if you have like a gift that you want to give to someone that's like the year of their birth, or maybe the year they graduated or something like that, you can find a buck knife that might be used from someone. I got this off of the eBay. And like I said, I did the research, found the year that I wanted, tried to find a knife that I liked, and here we are. What did I get? It is a Buck 373 Trio knife. I'll just open the main blade first. You can see it's got that nice wood, smooth edge, nice finish. First blade on there, you got like a nice clip point, long clip point blade. It says Buck 373 with the year stamp date on there. Nice and simple. That Buck little inlaid badge. Got your pins. So that should be nickel silver bolsters with the nickel silver pins. And I don't know exactly what type of wood this is. If you were to buy the 2024 ones, they have them in a burl wood and just a wood grain. So this looks like the standard wood grain of the one that you can buy today. Other than that, they are almost identical. So I would assume if you bought the wood grain one, it would look almost the same as this. All right, let's get to blade number 2. Ooh. Get that out. These are all slip joint blades. This one says China on it. There are buck knives that are made in the USA. There are some that are made in China. This is one of the China. So blade number 2, you got a nice little sheep's foot blade right there. A little bit smaller. Ooh, that feels slicey. So this is, like I said, a used knife. I don't know how much the owner before me used it, if they are the only owner. It's from 2015, so it's not like it's that old. It looks like it's in great shape. There isn't really any damage or anything that I've seen as of yet. Let's take that one out one more time. So that's your sheep's foot blade. Okay. And then the third blade is a spay blade. Got that little spay tip in there. Originally used by farmers for spaying animals. Apparently with that particular edge, you're able to ride up along the skin without cutting and get into where you need to get a lot easier. Maybe more information than you need. It looks like it's the smallest one. It feels like it's been used more. It doesn't feel as sharp as that sheep's foot. I feel like whoever owned this did actually use this blade a little bit more. I'm just going to instantly just go right back to that. This one feels significantly sharper, but that's just the feel across my thumb. This one looks like it's got some sticky on it. It's got some, you can kind of see a little bit on that edge there. That could use a sharpening for sure. This one's definitely been used quite a bit. I can see it's kind of rolled over and not great right in that spot there. We'll sharpen it, clean it up. What's everyone think about this? What do you think about these unboxings? Because I got a couple more of them. If you'll enjoy them, hit the like button. Subscribe if you would like to see more. All right, let's be careful. There's the all three. Maybe if I go like this. From the buck. Who has this particular model? Tell me. What do you think? Ultimately, like I said, I was looking for some gifts for a few people and trying to find some specific dates. But when you're buying used, you don't know how good it's going to be. I got to kind of go through this and check it out, make sure I feel that it's good enough. But man, this looks clean. I like how it's like flat right here, and then they tapered the wood on these edges. You see that? It's thinner right here where it meets the bolsters, but they allowed it to get thicker and a flat section across there to give it a little more meat because it is a thinner, smaller knife. But it feels thicker in the hand right there because of that. You can see right there how it kind of bows out in the center. Cool. I'm happy with this one. This was inexpensive. If you were to buy one of these on the Buck site today, brand new, 2024, it would be around $31. I got this with the shipping used on eBay. I think it was around $22. A little bit less than the standard retail, so not a bad price for this right here. Okay, so what do we got? Is a 420, the new ones are 420 J2 stainless. This doesn't have any markings on it. I'm going to assume the steel is still a 420, but I might have to look into older models and see if they have changed that, but they probably have not. And like I said, it's got that wood grain handle and the nickel silver bolsters. Very cool. Who was a buck knife enthusiast? Or who has a collection? How many are in your collection? Do you have one of these? Tell me about it. I think the wood grain, whenever you get something wood, you never know. One of them, one piece right next to another piece might have a lot more texture-y kind of lines, and the grain to it might be more interesting. The other one might be more plain. So when you're buying a wooden handled knife, you never know. And sometimes you get lucky. I think this looks great. That nice dark line through there, really cool. From this angle, I can see this blade's been used. And I need to, that is a rolled piece of, I need to deburr that. 5 7/8 all the way across. Blade is just barely 2.5 inches with about a 2-inch cutting surface and 3.25 inch handle. Smaller little slip joint knife. Actually, let me do just getting ahead of myself here. Very thin, probably very slicey, and you get it sharp. .06, quite a thin blade. So this handle does get .55 in the middle, so that is wide. 4.7 down there, 5.5 up there. Handle without the blades, 0.49, so about a half. With that blade, 0.7. Definitely thick enough. I have a bigger hand. It's more of a 3-finger grab, but I can kind of get up there and get a full grab on it. This is definitely a smaller, more delicate knife. You can do this, because it is a slip joint. So it's not something that I would use as a hard use type of a situation or something. This is just something having in your pocket, having to cut things, quick and easy little jobs and tasks, light duty. Speaking of light, 1.83. I compare everything with my Pyrite 3.67. Obviously, it's going to be a lot lighter than that. 1.83. I am going to have I got an old timer that's almost identical to it, so 2.8, but I guess it is definitely a larger, but yeah, we'll look at that. 1.82, another Rough Rider, 3.5, but these are larger. I should have tried to grab some smaller ones. I do have another buck that I got recently. It's a tiny one though, 0.77. See that size difference, but yeah, here we are. Under 2. Well, I do have one other buck we'll put on there that I'm going to do the comparison, so I got to show you the weight on that big boy. 7.7. Oh, beastly hog. Okay, let's do a little comparison here. I am going to take all 3 of these out again and be careful not to cut myself. So that is what the Buck 373 trio looks like. I have an old timer right here, and I noticed on it, boom, boom, we have the same blades. So the old timer, here's your clip point right there. Obviously this old timer is a larger version, but the blade's a little bit bigger. Now they do have them out of order. The spay is there, so here's our 2 sheep's foot blades, and then here's our 2 spay blades. So technically they have the same features. This particular old timer, careful Dan, is larger. I'll go ahead and leave that main one out. But it is basically essentially the same kind of a knife. I wonder if there is a buck model. Comment below. There probably is. They probably have a trio or something that, that is larger. Some of those names, I don't know them all. Stockman or something like that. It's kind of got a similar design to it. Definitely, though, the old timer is a little bit bigger than that buck. We'll get that Pyrite. Oh my goodness, really? Really? CJRB Pyrite, great EDC carry. I use it for all my comparisons. It's just a good base, not quite full size model to use for size comparisons. Handle is about 1 inch larger. Blade is almost 1 inch larger, so it's definitely bigger. That cutting surface, got a good 1/2 inch on there. So that compared to that standard Pyrite. I do have the smaller buck. This is the 379. You can see it's got a different little stamp on there. That's a different year. So this one's similar in size, but a lot thinner because there's only the 1 blade in there. So obviously don't need it to be as wide. I do have a Rough Rider. Can't remember the Trapper or whatever. It's more similar to that old timer size. It only has 2 blades in it, so it's got that same clip, and then the other one is the spay, significantly longer spay. That spay blade's about as long as the handle of this 373. But yeah, okay, let's get the real one out here. This is my buck from when I was born, the Buck 110 USA, and it's got that excellent knife, excellent knife. This is the one that kind of dropped me down that rabbit hole of different years and getting some older ones. But look at how, I mean, for one that's from the 70s, look at that blade. Never been sharpened. Fantastic. But yeah, this is still the same. You can go buy that same buck now today for about 65 bucks. Most stores will have it in stock. Very similar, almost identical to how it was. But that size, it'll show you. Nice comparison on this 373 is definitely a little bit more smaller, delicate, compact versus this big beast. Who's got some bucks? Which ones do they have? Comment below. I like this looking blade right here. Thinks like it'll do some good work. I'm going to have to carry this around a little bit, test it out, get it nice and sharp before I use it as that gift. But I'm sure they will like it. Do you like it? Comment below. Stay sharp. We'll see you soon.